It didn't just host America's elite, it consumed them. Before steel shadows from the Empire State Building ever darkened Fifth Avenue, the ground at 33rd Street carried a palace so powerful it rewired how America understood wealth, class, and cruelty. The original Waldorf-Astoria was not merely a hotel, it was a controlled ecosystem of privilege, built to impress the world while quietly erasing the human cost that made it possible. When New York boasted that it was the largest hotel on Earth, the claim was true, but what no brochure admitted was how many lives were spent to make that statement believable. The story begins with bloodless warfare inside one of America's richest families. William Waldorf-Astor, furious with his aunt's social dominance, built the original Waldorf Hotel in 1893 as an act of revenge. His cousin, John Jacob Astor IV, retaliated with the Astoria next door. The rivalry escalated into architectural upmanship, higher ceilings, richer finishes, larger ballrooms, until the two buildings were finally connected by Peacock Alley, a long, opulent corridor that became the most famous runway of wealth in the country. Here, industrialists, politicians, royalty, and socialites didn't just walk, they were watched. Status was currency, and appearance was power. But beneath the marble floors and gold-leaf ceilings, the foundation was laid in blood and silence. Construction raced forward under intense pressure to open quickly and dominate the luxury market. Laborers worked extreme hours with primitive safety measures. Falls from scaffolding were common. Crushing injuries went unreported. Deaths were handled quietly. Bodies removed before daylight, names rarely recorded. In an era with weak labor laws, the Waldorf treated workers as replaceable components, not human beings. Progress could not be delayed, not for injuries, not for funerals. Once open, the hotel became a magnet for ambition and despair alike. The Waldorf promised reinvention, a place where fortunes could be displayed or recovered. For some, it worked. For others, it ended everything. Financial ruin, political scandal, and personal disgrace followed guests into private rooms overlooking Fifth Avenue. Suicides occurred more often than the public ever knew. Management perfected a system of discretion. Rooms were cleaned immediately, records minimized, staff warned into silence. The illusion of perfection was more valuable than truth. The hotel's public image of refinement masked harsh internal realities. Staff lived under rigid discipline. Maids, porters, cooks, and bellmen worked exhausting shifts for modest pay, expected to disappear into the background while serving the ultra-rich. Attempts at unionizing or protest were swiftly crushed. Strikers were fired and replaced within days. Loyalty flowed upward, never downward. The Waldorf sold comfort, but it was built on exhaustion. And prestige had boundaries. Despite being the symbol of American luxury, the Waldorf enforced strict racial exclusion. Black guests, even prominent figures, were routinely denied rooms or subtly redirected elsewhere. The policy was rarely written, always enforced. The hotel's reputation mattered more than fairness. In a building that claimed to represent the nation's best, segregation operated quietly, efficiently, and without apology. When Prohibition arrived in 1920, the Waldorf didn't surrender its influence. It adapted. Officially dry, the hotel became a masterclass in quiet defiance. Alcohol flowed through coded language, trusted waiters, and protected service corridors. Powerful guests drank openly behind closed doors, while organized crime money financed supply chains. The Waldorf was too important, too connected to be touched easily by law enforcement. When a bootlegging supplier was later found dead inside a restricted corridor, the incident vanished into internal paperwork. No scandal, no trial, just another problem erased. Then came 1929, and everything cracked. As the stock market collapsed, desperation seeped into the hotel's luxury suites. Bankers who once ruled Peacock Alley returned broken. Suicides spiked. The staff had become experts by now. Faster cleanups, tighter silence, smoother cover stories. Outside, bread lines grew. Inside, chandeliers still glittered, but the era that built the Waldorf was dying. The final irony came swiftly. The hotel that once symbolized permanence became expendable. In 1930, the original Waldorf-Astoria closed, By 1931, it was dismantled like a carcass, fixtures auctioned, stones stripped, history sold piece by piece. What remained was rubble. On that same ground, America raised a new monument, the Empire State Building. Taller, colder, more efficient, a symbol of modern ambition replacing gilded excess. Today, millions stand beneath that skyscraper unaware that beneath the concrete lies a buried palace, and beneath that palace lies a ledger of uncounted workers, erased deaths, silenced scandals, and luxury bought at human cost. The original Waldorf-Astoria didn't just redefine luxury, it revealed the price America was willing to pay for it.